All right, it's live now.
Podcasting.
So, what's up, guys? Pacific OG94 here, and I'm making a video with an interview. I haven't done an interview since, I think, Super Mario Zilla, but today we're doing an interview with Steve and Arnes from Super Unimportant Reviews.
How's it going, guys?
All right, so I guess we could just jump right into it. So, the first question is, what inspired you both to create your channels, the Geek Chest and Super Important Reviews? What inspired you to create YouTube channels?
You want me to do this one?
Yeah, you got this one.
Essentially, the reason I wanted to mainly do videos is because I've been buying a lot of action figures for a long time now, like especially since pretty much the age of 5. I've been buying stuff gradually, especially like my giant monster stuff. Problem is I never really get to show the stuff off. I never really get to like discuss it with anybody. And watching all these other YouTubers and even people that did reviews, because I didn't even know exactly what I wanted to do to begin with when we first started Super. And lost my train of thought here for a sec. But anyways, wanted to showcase my stuff to people. I thought it'd be a really nice avenue to do it. And then after watching people like Shartimus Prime, Optibotimus, and Richiso, surprisingly, decided to try to do the review route, and it worked out pretty good. And then the Geek Chest kind of just came out and about because wanted to just kind of do something different that wasn't review related, because we kind of wanted to keep Super just specifically toy reviews. So Geek Chest is kind of like our little offshoot that we just wanted something else to do.
Yeah, it's for our weird stuff for sure.
Yeah. I subscribe to both channels, so that's why I was kind of figuring like one was more reviews, one's kind of like a relaxed channel, like one's more relaxing kind of in a way, like with the way videos are made.
Yeah, especially like the Geek Chest is more just like have fun and just kind of whenever the videos come out, they come out for the most part. While Super is more like I know I spend way more time editing a Super video than I ever do a Geek Chest video on average, except for like the Stevie Toy Room videos are usually the ones I spend a lot more time on.
One of the earliest reviews I know, you guys may recognize the name. His name was Ultraman Kronos. You guys remember that name at all?
Not off the top of my head.
He was one of the first people I ever saw doing reviews on YouTube, way back in 2009-ish, 2010. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he doesn't make videos anymore. I don't think he does.
I was like, I don't think I got into really YouTube till I want to say 2013 is when I started watching stuff.
Yeah, right about that time.
I tried doing the review route. It didn't. Personally, I don't like making reviews. I tried to do it for a while, but it didn't. Like, I like watching reviews. I just don't like making them. So I give props to you guys for making it because it's a lot of work to make them.
They're time consuming. That's usually why it's usually like one-ish a week for the most part.
The worst ones are the Stevie Toys because they take hours just for like 2-minute payoff.
Yeah, it's the ones where you have different audio clips and it's all in just one video. It's like, it seems like it shouldn't take that long, but it takes a while to edit.
Yeah, you take like one video you spent maybe like 40 minutes on-ish, cut that down, plus then you have to break down all this other stuff, add audio, and make sure it all kind of syncs up right.
A lot.
Yeah, because usually like a Super video, say if I got like 40 minutes of editing I've done, I probably spent about 3 hours on the video after that just editing.
Yep.
All right. So the second question is, how did both of you individually get into figure collecting or start collecting figures?
I'll let you start first.
I just mostly like a lot of like anime stuff and stuff like that, so that's where my collection came from. But it was Steve mostly that pushed me into it.
Yeah, because he was kind of on the fence with it a lot, and it was kind of like after seeing me buy all the stuff, and he was pretty much the only other person I really showed my stuff to a lot of the time, and he kind of got into it thereafter. Yeah. Me pretty much like started when I was really young, and kind of just I've always been in the toys, and then pretty much beginning of college is where I took a little bit of a break. A lot of it had to do with dating. I wasn't really buying figures at the time. But then this one thing was I had a really large Godzilla collection to begin with, and it disappeared. Thought my parents lost it or it might have got stolen. Found out she actually stored all my stuff in the back of like a broken down van. And once I found all that stuff, I kind of got me back into buying Godzilla stuff. And then shortly thereafter is actually when we started doing the reviews. Funny thing.
Yeah, mine came from mostly like my childhood. I remember playing with like Kenner figures and stuff like that. And then they all disappeared. So I kind of wanted to get them all back. And then I just started and it just kind of exploded.
Yeah, even a lot of it's like stuff that I couldn't get when I was younger because either like if my parents wouldn't buy it or it just like was out of reach. Like that stuff, like I love to try to get a hold of nowadays.
When you're younger, I think a lot of figures or any kind of toys you have disappear a lot. Like, you'll remember them so fondly, I'll be like, I don't know what happened to it. It just vanished randomly.
Yeah, like some Tremaster Godzillas. Power Rangers was a big thing. I used to have like all the Mighty Morphins. I had no idea where they went.
I remember like oddly, I remember having a lot of like Star Wars things, and I wasn't even that big of a Star Wars fan. I just ended up with a lot of figures and from Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, I did too. But I was actually really like high school. I was super into Star Wars. More so like now. Now it's just kind of like I just try to stick with my giant monster stuff.
There's a little side comment. I just realized, are you wearing a My Hero Academia shirt?
Yep, it's All Might.
That's awesome. Like, My Hero Academia is a great show.
Oh, that show is fantastic. I'm kind of sad that I sold my Figma recently, but
wait, what was the Figma of?
Yeah, I was like, I got like that guy went on eBay for I think I got 300 for that guy.
No, what I mean, what was it like? What was the Figma of?
Oh, the Figma of Deku of Midoriya.
Do they have an All Might figure?
Not yet. They teased that they were going to make Bakugo, but that was like almost 2 years ago now.
And nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't done anything with it after that. So I don't know if they lost the rights to it or what have you.
I would love an All Might, even though I don't collect Figma. I would love for them to make an All Might. I feel like that'd be a great figure.
Yeah, like even both versions would be pretty cool, especially if, like the like.
I would like the skinny one a lot for some reason. I kind of want that more than the buff version.
Yeah, it's kind of like I've always wanted a Hercule figure for the longest time, just because.
Figmas are really expensive. They turned into not when they first come out, like the Dragon Ball Z line of Figmas. Like I think they're releasing a Android 21 and a couple other.
Figures.
Oh, figures. My bad.
Oh, you're good.
But they always start out at like, around $50-$40, and then you come back a year, they're like 300 plus, crazy prices.
Oh yeah, that's the whole reason I don't really get into it. I try to avoid that line as much as possible.
I wanted to get the Goku Black, but I was on the fence about getting him. And then when I was like, all right, you know what, I think I'll finally get him, I go on Amazon, he's around 200, and I'm like, oh, well, I missed my shot.
Yeah, it's like Blake showed me one, and I was like, oh, I actually kind of want to get this guy that I saw always go for. I'm like, and I'm not buying super figures.
Exactly.
Like, you get them when they come out, pre-order them, and that's only shot you'll get of actually buying them.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Monster Arts used to be. It's not so bad anymore.
Monster Arts prices have kind of died down more than they were originally. Although some of them are still crazy. I haven't bought a Godzilla figure in 3 years before I took a huge break because schooling and stuff like that. I didn't have the exact chances to spend extra money on figures. But I recently bought the SH Monster Arts Shin Godzilla, which was a figure I wanted for a while. It's kind of on the fence about him because of the horrible, there's paints. Although I don't think it's really that big of a deal to me, really, if his neck is a little bit too red. I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah, I was like, mine was a little bit on the worser side. I still don't think it was really that bad.
It hasn't. I haven't received it yet. It's still in process of shipping over here, but I should get it around next week. But from the pictures I saw of it, I got one that's pretty good. The face is like a normal grayish, it's not very bad. So I'm hopeful.
Especially if it's the reissue. The reissue, like mostly from what I heard, the paint jobs are pretty good on all of them.
Yeah. All right. So for the next question, you guys cover a lot of different types of videos or make a lot of different types of videos on your channels. But what series that you guys have is your personal favorites to make?
I know for me, it's probably the Stevie Toy Rooms because I could just get to have a lot of fun with like editing it and trying to get the little tweaks and stuff and trying to get it to all kind of make sense with a bunch of little pictures essentially.
Mine would be the review that never was. It's because it's an actual review that we don't have to be serious in.
Yeah, a little bit more of just like just do them and just like
more laid back.
I don't care.
Because it's like we're still having fun of doing a review, but we don't have to be 100% serious on it. So it's like mostly jokes and stuff like that. We kid around and
yeah, because you're not really as concerned about how the figure's presented in front of the camera as much either. So it's just a lot less stress trying to make sure everything's shown off too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Well, I don't really have too much to say on that. I like your guys' videos, so I can't really. That's more of you guys think. So,
Get it?
next question is kind of more relaxed one. So, for both of you, what is your favorite monster film? Like in general, it doesn't have to be Godzilla related, just a monster film. Like, what is your favorite? It can be Godzilla related, but I'm just saying it's not.
Mine's Humor 2. Jack Levy. Personally, it's really good. Like I like the monsters in it. I thought the story was done really nicely. The pretty much even the cinematography, like it's just a gorgeous looking giant monster movie, and still uses practical effects.
Now, are we talking about giant monsters or just monsters in general?
I swear if you say Gremlins. But sorry, that's the first thing I thought of when he did this. When he did that, I don't know why, I just instantly thought of Gremlins. I was gonna say,
if it's anything.
you can see Gremlins.
No, I like Pacific Rim. Like that movie for me was like, whoa.
What did you think of the sequel?
A little bit let down, but I went in expecting it to be 4, and I got 6, so I was kind of happy with it.
As well as like, I don't think it was gonna ever really reach the hype that was the first Pacific Rim, but it's still like it's a fun movie, and it's probably what the Power Ranger movie really should have been. To be honest,
it made me feel more of a Power Range feel than Pacific. I mean, technically, it's both the same thing. You know, you have like giant humanoid things fighting monsters. It's kind of the same genre, but the first Pacific Rim to me was it's one of my favorite movies. It's great. The second one wasn't bad. I expected kind of the same thing that you said. I expected it to be really not that good. And it kind of wasn't that good, although the thing that I liked about it most was the plot twist with, I always forget the guy's name, the scientist dude. Spoiler. Yeah, New. I always forget his name. I like the whole thing with the kaiju being connected with him. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it was like the plot worked really well. It's just kind of like, I don't know, the pacing just seemed really, like, it seemed like it was going really fast.
A lot happened real quick.
The pacing was off.
Yeah. It's not as like because like the first Pacific Rim to me was like, it's hard to explain, but it's just like it was the way it was shot is meant to be more of like a cinema piece, while the second movie is more just like a summer movie blockbuster.
I thought of a cutscene from like a game of some sort whenever I saw Pacific Rim 2. Like when I saw the trailer for it, I thought it was like a PS4, PS3 just cutscene of like some kind of game. It didn't make me think of a movie. Like when I see Pacific Rim shot of like Gypsy falling from the sky and cutting Otachi's fin, everything was so like it was really cinematography. It was great. Mm-hmm. This one, it made me feel like it was a mix of a video game, Michael Bay, and a couple other things with the way it was portrayed. It was. I didn't like it, but you know, whoever did like it, you know, I'm free to like it. But
like I said, I went in expecting a 4, and I got solid 5.5, 6, so I was okay with it.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a movie of cool scenes, but not like a full movie.
Yeah. All right, so for the next question, this is kind of the opposite of the other one. Out of the types of videos you guys make, which one are the least fun or require the most time on to make? You don't have fun with them, basically, but you make them anyway.
That's a tough one.
I don't like the live streams. Like, I enjoy live streaming, but I don't like it because I feel like we're put on a spot because it is a live stream, and they're like 2-3 hours long, you know, and it's...
Yeah, it's a lot of... You're trying not to muffle up your words while doing it either, because you want it to kind of be like how you're shooting a film. Yeah, I'd say that, or if I had to pick the Stevie toy rooms that I have, like, I have everything. Like, I love making the Stevie toys, but the ones in particular that I just kind of do because people like them is the toys react to the trailer. Because like I still like I try to have fun with them, but it's so hard to like get everything working right with the trailers, and it's just like it's more fun. It's the most frustrating one for me to do, more so than a dislike.
Makes sense.
Just it's a lot of work with it more than the others.
Yeah, it's like I'm kind of like I'm stuck with what the trailer presents to me in terms of what the video could really be, instead of just kind of just doing what I want.
Kind of forces you to do one thing.
Yeah.
It's a lot more of a, with those videos, they're a lot more of an interesting take, because I'm not trying to shout out or call out certain people, but a lot of people, like with Godzilla King of Monsters trailer that recently dropped, everybody is made a video reacting to it, and I'm not a fan of most React videos. I like the Toy React because it's a different take, because most other React videos are kind of the same thing. You have a guy you watch making faces to a video, like, oh, ah, whoa, wow, like kind of the same thing for most of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of why I really wanted to do those.
But it's my opinion, at least.
Yeah, this is why I wanted to kind of do those in particular. It's just so it was something different than just me just going, oh.
I was tempted to make a video just kind of like, I don't want to say making fun of that, but kind of like making a video just staring at a computer for like 3 minutes, just going, wow, whoa, whoa. Do you guys see this? And it's just a piece of paper that says unoriginal, and then it just ends like that.
Well, you should, because that would be hilarious.
Or even just like stone cold, just stare at the camera for 3 minutes and say nothing.
Just stare at the camera for 3 minutes. Don't say
anything. Sad background music.
Yeah, just end the video with the trailer's done. Good to go.
All right, so for the next question, this is again both of you. So for both of you, what is the most valuable figure to you? Like the figure you guys treasure the most, or both of your guys' collections? Each figure that like you hold, I don't want to say sacred, but each figure you like the most in a certain way.
Mine's gone. Blake has mine.
The poncho?
That was a woman after my heart.
Okie dokie.
It'll be my alien egg in the background. You probably might see a little bit of it.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I think it's kind of blocked in.
Oh, by the chairs.
Yeah, there's like a life-size alien egg kind of just hanging out back there.
Oh, that's cool.
Mine, it's tough.
It'll be the bootleg 84 Godzilla I bought you. The bootleg vinyl 84 Godzilla.
If it helps, it sits in the case of the other Bandai vinyl, so you're welcome. But probably my Masterpiece Optimus Prime. If I had to pick something. Mainly because like my wife bought it for me as a wedding gift.
Oh, you should burn it.
An awesome wedding gift, though.
Well, yeah, because it was just one of those like a figure like I've been wanting forever, and like it was right when the Toys R Us was reissuing, you know, with the trailer and everything, and they had one there, and she bought it without me knowing, and I was sad because I went back to go buy it, and they were sold out. So I thought I missed out on it, and then she ended up giving it to me.
Do you have the Masterpiece Megatron with it or no? Oh, you do.
Yeah. The Masterpieces, I got a few. Like I got Megatron, I got Soundwave, Starscream. We have a Grimlock. And then a few of the other Autobots, like Ironhide.
Oh, all right. Let's see. What is the next question? I have a list. I just scroll through. All right. So, what gave you guys the ideas for the name Super Unimportant Reviews?
Mainly, the fun thing about Super is we used to have a channel just called Unimportant Reviews, but that got shut down. So we changed it to Super Unimportant Reviews, just added the Super. But the reason why we called it Unimportant Reviews anyways was because, especially with like most people I usually come across and deal with, nobody usually thinks like toy collecting's a thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like lower on the totem pole and just kind of shunned a little bit for the most part. Granted, like collecting NASCARs and stuff is way cooler than collecting action figures, but who knows? So that was kind of why we thought it was like, so we always thought like our collections were always considered sort of like unimportant compared to some other things you could be collecting at the time. So that's kind of where the title for that came from.
Just we're not important, pretty much.
We're just random people talking about toys.
All right, that's a good enough story. This is kind of a side question, but what happened with the original Unimportant Reviews towards that channel?
I messed up some annotations in a video, and they were saying that we were trying to get extra clicks on the video and shut our channel down.
This is the stupidest thing ever.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
You can't make one mistake, or else your channel's gone.
Yeah, it was back when you could use the annotations. I was trying to link it in the annotation where you could skip in the video instead of actually in the description, because never saw anything in this thing to say you couldn't do that for people. But it was blocking an ad or something when I was doing that.
I think that's a little extreme to take down a channel, but YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, so again, what is one figure you guys really want but do not have yet? Like your next go-to thing you were looking forward to?
Ooh, that's a good one.
This might be upsetting, but I'm looking forward to the next Kenner Aliens.
The NECA ones?
Yeah. Kenner Aliens NECA and the Predator, too.
Mantis Alien is my favorite of the Kenner line. I don't know, I like the look of it.
It's a cool looking figure. I know, like the one I got was a stinker, but it looks cool. Mine I have like such bad joint problems.
Yeah, like Steve's, you hold it, it'll just fall apart, like fall left, right, forward. It's just.
Wait, you mean the NECA one, right?
Yeah.
I don't buy NECA anymore because I have a horror story with a NECA figure where I ordered or I didn't order. I picked it up at Toys R Us. It was it's either Tacit or Tactic Ronin, the Jaeger one with the blades underneath the arms. Got him out of the package. Amazing design. Then I noticed they glued over the ball joints on both arms. So you can't move the arms.
You've been naked.
Yeah, that happens.
Like the elbow joint. Like you bend his arm up and down and left and right move it. But you can't move at the shoulder joint at all. And the other one came half, apparently, like it was half glued, but it half wasn't. So as soon as I just looked at it, the arm fell off.
Yeah, so, a little behind the scenes of some of those videos. Like, I think I showed it off in the Horizon Brave where I had to disassemble it so much to get it to actually do what it needed to, because a lot of the paint and glue was kind of fused and stuff. My Tacit's actually broke. My Tacit Ronin, foot snapped off. If I had to say there's a figure I was really looking for, though, it'd probably be the X Plus 89, the 25 centimeter.
I'll be down there in a minute.
Probably the one I'm looking for just to go along with Biolante.
All right. All right. So, what's a figure series or a brand, I guess, that you kind of want to start collecting, but you've been on the fence about for a bit? Like something you've been thinking of collecting, but you're not sure if you really want to jump into collecting it.
X Plus.
I believe that.
X Plus. Also, there's the 1000 toy series. They make some stuff I would be interested in, but I don't know the brand, so I never go for it.
X Plus is good. I have one, which is the Space Godzilla, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah, they're one of those companies like I didn't want to buy for the longest time, but finally when I kind of gave in, I started buying more and more of them. Probably 3A figures, if I had to pick one. Because I keep like wanting to get random stuff from them because they have like the Dead Space figures, BioShock, the new Ultraman series, but they're kind of the price range, and I haven't really met anybody that really has any to really see if they're really worth the value.
Yeah.
So I haven't really hopped on any of them as of yet.
All right. So this is going to be the final question that I have, which is, so how has YouTubing or the channels you guys have changed you from when you started to where you are now?
That was a good question.
Yeah, I'd say
not much. I only lost maybe about half a day worth of gaming. Because now we got to put that half a day into videos.
Yeah, I'd say, I guess the one weird thing is it's just like how more people know about, like, especially like going to the G-Fest. It's always kind of an experience because it's like I'm famous there, or at least like a lot of people know who I am. And even like before that, like even like the first year, even just like a little bit of people on the channel, like nobody ever gave me like a second eye. But now it was like this year, the first 5 minutes I walked through the door and I got swarmed by people, which was a very cool experience.
Yeah, I went to UP and I met people that knew me, and I'm like, how kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like even like I got like pegged in town once before,
Yeah.
and at some other conventions too. So that was always really cool about doing YouTube, and just kind of like learning more of the skills. Like beforehand, like I didn't really know anything about editing. Now I do a crap ton of it, so got a little bit more experience with that. Same with pretty much just general figures. Like I used to like I would buy toys, but not nearly as hardcore. But now that we do these videos, I get stuff in. I get like stuff in on a regular basis now.
And buy stuff just for the videos sometimes.
Sometimes it's more of a rarity now, though. Before it was a lot more heavy-handed. No, it's just kind of like I used to like I didn't really have much to do, and it always seems like I'm way more active now than I really was back then, doing all these videos and just getting out more.
Well, that's good. I usually ask that question to everyone I interview just because it's like kind of like you said, Arnes, which again, thank you for that. It's a good question because it's kind of a deeper thinking question because you have to think, how was I before I started doing all this and compared to what I am now, which some people it's a drastic change. Some people go from being kind of more sheltered and reclusive to a lot more open.
I feel open.
Steve used to be in a shell, and now he's blossomed.
Like a flower.
Actually, if anything, I still say Michelle. Like mostly, I don't usually talk to people I don't know. Usually, but
all right. Well, that was my final question that I had to ask. So, do you guys have any other side things you want to mention or anything?
Nothing too much at the moment. I guess the only other thing would be like next convention we're going to be at is YomaCon in Detroit, Michigan. That'll be beginning of November.
Yeah.
We'll be handing around out there. But outside of that, just check out our channel, Super Important Reviews and the Geek Chest.
Yep. Their link will be down in the description below. So thank you guys for joining me for this interview.
Yeah, no problem. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.